Hello friends, welcome to Crackit CSE. In this series of database, today we will be understanding the having clause in SQL. So in the previous video we have discussed the group by clause. So this is the succession of group by clause. So this is the clause which is used with the group by clause. So if you have not watched my previous video, just go to the description. I am having the link in the description for the group by video. Watch that video first, then come on to this having clause video. So before starting this having clause, I would like to request you all, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe this channel for more such videos and press the notification icon so that you will get an update whenever I am posting a new video. So in this having clause, see, the having clause is used to select the group based on some condition. So this having clause is used with group by clause and it selects those groups only which satisfies some condition. We will see how. So the having clause condition is checked for each group. So first we form the group. After forming the group, we will check the particular condition for each of the group. For example, see, there is an example that select A from R, group by A having average C which is greater than 70. So I am taking the same example that I took in the previous video of group by. So I am having this relation R. So first of all we need to go with the from, because this is the first step in the execution flow. So I got to know that I have to take values from R. Then in the execution flow we are having the group by. So in the group by we need to group by A. So you can see that we have grouped it by A values. So this is the group by A table. Now we have to check for the average. So now come, let's see here the average of this. Is it greater than 70? Yes. So this is satisfies, because 90 plus 80 divided by 2 will give you 85. And here if you find out the average, it will be 80. It will be 85 here, and here it will be 50. So we have to select only those group in which the average of C is greater than 70. So that means we have to eliminate this third group, because here the average of C is less than 70. So the output will be, we have to select A values. So after completing this particular condition, we have to go on select. So what will be in the select will be having A, and the values will be A2 and A1, because null has not satisfied the condition of average C greater than 70. So this will be the output of this particular query. So I hope you got this particular example. Now let's go with some important point, that having clause conditions are generally used with group by clause, because we generally apply this having condition in group. So as per the standard definition of SQL, a standard definition says that the having clause is to be used with the group by clause only. But if you talk about the implementation of database, there are so many database like MySQL, Oracle, in which you can use this having clause without this group by clause. In that case, if this group by clause is not in the implementation, then the having condition will be checked for each particular row and it will give you the output according to that. So do not get confused with this particular thing, because in previous year GATE there was one question on the basis of this having clause and group by clause, where they asked about the existence of having clause. So do not get confused. The having clause conditions are generally used with group by clause. This is as per the standard definition. This is as per the standard definition. So if in question it is asking for the standard, yes, it cannot be used without group by clause. This is the standard. But if they are talking about the implementation, it can be used without the group by. This is specifically for implementation. So there is a difference between standard definition and implementation. So in implementation we can use the having clause without group by clause, which will be applied to all rows of relation. So this is an important point. There has been a question, previous year GATE question from this particular point. So we'll be discussing that previous year question with some other questions also in the next video. Now there are two conditions which needs to be understood. What are the two conditions? That condition must be over aggregate function. The having condition must be over aggregate function. What is the aggregate function? I already told you in the previous video that sum, count, min, max, these are the aggregate function. So along with aggregate function, the function is sum, every. So aggregate function plus these two functions. So these conditions has to be used over these functions. It cannot be applied over the direct attribute. Having clause condition should not be used over the direct attribute. So these are the two conditions which are very important to understand. Now see, here you can see that select A from R, group by A having every C. So here you can see that I am using this particular having condition with aggregate function, that is every. But if you talk about the second example, here I am using this having condition with an attribute. So according to the definition, it cannot be used. It will give you the error. So this one is right. This can be executed in the database, but this cannot be executed. It will give you the error. The error can be incorrect usage of having clause. So the error can be incorrect uses of having clause, because having clause has to be used with aggregation function, not with the single attribute. Now let's try to find out the output for this particular SQL query. So again I am going with the same example. So this is the same example I am having. Now I have to first of all check from, I got to know from this particular R I have to take the table, then group by A, I grouped them by A, right? Then we have to check having. What it says that every group, having means every group should be having the value of C greater than 75. Every C means every value of C in a group has to be greater than 75. If any one row does not satisfy this particular condition, then that complete group will be discarded from the result. How? Let's see. We are having group of A2 where check first C, is this greater than 75? Yes. Is this greater than 75? Yes. Then this group will be in output. This group will be in output like A, and under A there will be A2, right? Now check for the A1. In A1 this 70 is not greater than 75. So if any one row fails the condition of having, then it has to be discarded. So A1 cannot be in the result. Now let's check for the null. In null also the C is not greater than 75, that means it will also be discarded. So what will be the output of this particular thing? A2 will be the output of this particular query. So I hope you found this video useful. If you do, then please like this video, share it with your friends, comment your feedback or any query if you are having in the comment section. And in case if you want to join me on my Facebook page and Facebook group, I will give you the link in the description so that you can follow me over there. So thank you for watching. Keep supporting, keep learning. Have a great day.